Welcome, lovely soul friend. This is a calling from Spirit to connect to, for you to connect to Spirit. As I was kind of contemplating today, going through the forest, that periodically I've been feeling disconnected from the Spirit realms in general, and spending more time in my own physical ego realm, solving, not, working through with some things of more physical nature. And I came to just witness, kind of understand that every time when I become more connected with Spirit is when I start communicating more. So it's kind of when I start reaching out. The more I allow myself to just talk to existence itself, to everything that exists, because everything that exists has spirit form, right? The physical objects too have spirit forms. And the people that have passed have spirit forms. The energies that guide us, which don't have physical forms, still have spirit forms. So they have their spiritual forms. In today's message, I wanted to, I could do readings here. I feel like it's like a popular thing right now. A lot of people do, and I sometimes do too. And if it resonates with me, if it's something I'm channeling either way, through my cosmic team, through my higher self, and through my soul, these messages, and also through your higher self, from your higher selves, I channel these messages. So, but I could do like specific readings on future. I could tell you that when, like, not when, but certain people are reaching out for you, certain guides are trying to reach you, delivering you certain messages. But I am more interested in the fact that you become the one who hears the message for your individual self. It's not just about hearing certain messages, it's not just about having skills, right? It's not about having psychic perception. It is about reclaiming part of yourself for every individual. Every being has a part in spirit form. So therefore every being can be responsive to the spirit realm, therefore perceiving perceiving the spirit information. So I am more interested in guiding you towards your own perception of spirit, rather than giving you certain directions and messages only when it's relevant. Only when it's like, in the beginning I also kind of made this channel with delivering those messages more on like New Earth guidance, New Earth directions, things that are relevant for a kind of a new planetary existence. Of course, it's this topic is included. It's not just about creating beautiful landscapes and systems. It is both. It is also the spiritual growth of humanity in general, which is actually the most important thing, because now we're heavily leaning towards having advanced technology, but we haven't reached the spiritual level and capacity to hold that technology. So that's a problem. We need more. We need more spiritual development before we really start to engage with a lot of these technologies. And so, responsiveness to spirit. You see that anything that you recognize, okay, just now, let me try to kind of channel this in in as simple manner as I can. So as simply as I can. People, objects, a pen. A pen has a spiritual quality to it. When I tell myself, I have a pen, there's this pen, there are certain feelings which I feel, or, you know, it's like you could investigate what you feel, what you think, what is in the subtle field that is around this pen. What is in the subtle field around this pen? You could like immediately feel how your own spirit responds to pen. You might be thinking, oh, maybe I don't have I don't have the money to buy a new pen, I really want a new pen. Maybe you might be feeling, you know, like, oh, I just bought the most amazing pens, the most amazing set of pens, and I'm really excited about using them. And this individual reaction, responsiveness to a certain spirit quality, to a certain object, which is really, it's not really the object itself, but it's the kind of subtle quality which you respond to, is the initial understanding of how you communicate with certain spirits. Okay, so let's not use just like a simple object now. Let's say your grandmother, your grandfather. And if you know many people in your family, like perhaps these are passed over people, and you could kind of look with your mind's eye at each and one of those people, and you could feel which person feels the most resonant with you, which person feels the most like, you know, if I look at my family tree, I can see like these people are cold, so there is not a lot of spirit responsiveness, and then there are these people that seem warmer. And mind that I have not met these people in my life. They have passed over before I have come in, so I have never known them. Like, it's not memories that I hold about them which create this spirit responsiveness, but I feel them having passed over before I have had come in to respond to me. So I feel them delivering messages. And at the beginning of the video I said, the more you talk to the creation itself, the more you understand that everything is internal, the more you get kind of a back and forth guidance and messaging in your own path. You are connected with spirit. So so let's say, like, okay, initially you recognize that this spiritual quality is responsive to me. So that's like the first thing that you recognize, what spiritual frequencies are responsive to me. And in this way you can kind of recognize also which guides are talking to you, which guides are responding to you, which guides are guiding you. If you explore certain angelical frequencies, you could explore what kind of angelical frequencies are, you know, like we know the classic, but I guess, is this like from Christianity? I mean, any ascended master from any other kind of maybe religious background, any guides from ancient worlds that you may be feeling. It's not necessarily that you need to know the names of the angels, the guides, the ascended masters of your ancestors to know that spiritual quality. I remember in my childhood having so many of those, like elevated, nostalgic feelings that you feel like a certain wave is carrying you. And if this wave doesn't have a name, but it feels like it's elevating and guiding you, this feeling, this energy, and you may associate it with certain times of day, with certain locations, with certain sounds, and you know that this wave of energy is coming through you and guiding you, then just connect with this wave. Allow it to introduce itself to you. Yeah. And you could give it a name. You could make it a friend. You could give it a kind of a character. But now, this is a guiding frequency. This is a guiding frequency that is responding to your spirit. Recognizing the responsiveness of certain spiritual qualities. It's not that for each person, certain things will respond and certain things will not. Right? For each their own. And as you start recognizing, start communicating, start talking to them, start asking questions. And this is what I said in the beginning of the video, that time and time again I come to I ask questions, I communicate, I get very close to spirit, and then I kind of distance myself, not unknowingly, just like naturally drifting apart. It's back and forth. But in general, this back and forth is creating a more unified sense, because it's like you connect with your own individuality, and then you connect with the spirit of oneness, of being one. You connect with and then all of that information that you have gathered from the spiritual realm, you ground in yourself, and then you go back, and then you talk again. Talk to the forest, talk to the trees, talk to the planet, talk to the angels, talk to the forest spirits, to certain realms, to certain ascended masters. Always with your higher self, in alignment with your higher self, highest self. So questions is, asking questions. But in general, it doesn't have to be like, asking just questions, just being boring. Because with certain spiritual qualities, you can play, you can interact with them, you can carry them with you. You can, not only you can, but it's kind of what we're doing here, it's what we're advancing with. That I think a lot of people treat, they treat spirit guides as their parents. They treat spirit guides, these spirit frequencies, as from one supposition. I don't know if it's like the right way to put it, but it's like base frequency. So people's base frequency is this: I am an ego, I have a journey, I want this, I want that, I'm struggling, I'm struggling like many others are, and I just want my dear spirit guides to help me, to tell me what to do, and please be my parents, please keep me safe, and just tell me how to get through this day, tell me how to get through my challenges. It's all right if that's initially that way, but I believe that a lot of people would not want to spend their opportunity of being alive forever in a way which is kind of this, I'm struggling here, this separated ego, and please help me, spirit guides, and then begging for help, and then kind of just living on the promises that one day I'm gonna make it and everything's gonna be just great and amazing and fine. I myself find it kind of, I just find it, I just find it waste. It's a waste of life. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of intention. It's a waste of magic. And it's not because, you know, in my experience, there's still struggle and no struggle. There's still the same duality other people are experiencing. But I turn to spirits, at least also I try to turn to spirits as friends, you know. I think that the intention to exist with them is to rather play with them, is to hang out with them, is to coexist with them. And that natural coexistence, which isn't just kind of just going me to the spirits to just advance on my own personal incarnation. This coexistence, natural, like they are my friends, we're hanging out, we're just, you know, if I'm gonna go relax on the beach, I'm gonna take my spirits with myself, and you know, I'm not gonna ask them about my issues and problems necessarily. I'm gonna be like, hey, look at those trees, look at that, that's amazing, this is, you know, we're playing, we are experiencing life together, and we are coexisting, and this natural coexistence allows me for a closer connection, and then it naturally also allows me to fix my personal issues, to advance on my personal journey, to, you know, see, just to keep moving on with what is sort of my maybe karmic journey, you know. If you live in a position, like from a position of implying I have problems, I need spirit guides to help me solve my problems, spirit guides would usually say, well, why do you put yourself in a position, why do you view yourself as having problems? You know, if you could see your life as a journey, if you could see that you are actually on a path of like an excursion, adventure, and we are here with you on this adventure. I mean, I know the adventure is harsh in many ways, and sometimes it's nice, and sometimes it's great. But if we are together on adventure, and you don't hold yourself as a hostage by saying constantly, there are problems that need to be solved, then everything happens effortlessly. Every manifestation, every fixing, creation, everything happens so naturally and so harmoniously. Because you don't keep manifesting the reality in which you say, I have to make it because there are problems, you know. And then the baseline frequency from which you start living is what? The baseline frequency is we are playing a game. We are playing a game, you know. I get to shift my states of being from individual, physical, astral, psychic, emotional, mental, oneness, non-duality, feeling as everything. I get to travel like in an elevator from all of these states and experience this kind of like You know, like they have in theme parks these kind of rides which you sit in, and it's like a free fall going. It sort of goes up, and then you're like, ooh, fall down. And it's this in the same way. It's like, I'm separated. I'm one with everything. And then it's like, in the middle, you can see all the individual people, individual spirit guides, individual frequencies, but you know that on a higher level, you're all one. So yeah, you see, there was actually a spirit message. We started with how to to wrap it up. We started with how to respond to certain spirits, how to become more psychically aware, and then, well, yeah, I just kind of came to the baseline frequency of why we are not psychically aware, because we use our power to put ourselves into position of the problematic self, the weighed down by world, weighed down by our own karmas and energies self. And of course, from time to time, we will be weighed down, because when we are experiencing and going through the states of being weighed down by the illusion of life, the dreaming, we are grounding new information by interacting with it. Yeah. Start looking for frequencies in your life that are responding to you, for spirit guides that are responding to you. Again, how do you know? How do you know which spirits are responding to you? It's like hot and cold, you know. Something that will be responding to you will bring to the surface a lot of meaning, a lot of inspiration, a lot of thought process. Things that do not interact with you, with your spirit, that do not respond, they simply feel gray and blank. It doesn't mean that on certain times or in future timelines they might come alive. It could be, it's possible. But what is relevant and important now is, you know, that which responds to you. I know that for example, for myself, resonating with Archangel Michael a lot, because of the honorable frequency, because of the frequency that once I even say the name Archangel Michael feels like fighting for what is right, standing for truth, for light, standing up for others. And to me, that has a lot of experience, journey throughout many different lifetimes for me. So that frequency, that angelic guide is guiding me, and you know, you can feel it, how much meaning it has for you. Now you can explore it this way, right? And then if I feel that it does have a lot of meaning, then I could start asking Archangel Michael, does your frequency, this is what you can ask every single guide, does your frequency now have a meaning in my life, in this moment, in my experience? Tap into it, feel it. Allow the answers to come through. You already know the answers. Just allow them to come through. And if it does, and see if anything comes up. All right. I love you, my dear soul friends. I hope this allowed you to become closer with spirit and with the spiritual qualities that surround you, and that it has helped you to, well, yeah, in general, just rely on your own guidance instead of receiving guidance from external sources, which there are plenty of on the YouTube. Indeed. It's not bad. It's just that it's not only about it's not only about like every single message as a separated message of what do I do, what do I need to do now, which way do I need to turn, but it's about the shift of your consciousness. It's about forever shifting to the state in which you are connected with everything, in which you are your own guide, in which you are flying. And in that kind of a state, you will feel that it is strange. Why would I listen to tarot readings? Why would I listen to any readings? I am here alive. I am here with my spirit collective, with every spirit that responds to me. We're having fun. We're playing. We're exploring a certain path of living, a certain path of being, a certain path of existing, and yeah, and just everything that it is, whether it's harsh, bitter, challenging, or sweet, nice, and flying high. Definitely. Okay, love you very much, my dear soul friends. I will see you all later. Please, please, if you do if you do resonate more with the spiritual qualities which you may tap into here, just allow yourself to be a part of this group by subscribing, liking, and commenting. Thank you. Okay, very much. Bye bye.